Wullie, congratulations taking the job on a permanent basis. What's your initial thoughts?
Just delighted to get it sorted. It's going to be an honour taking the club forward, and just sat down with the board today, and it was always my plan was to take the lead and take the team forward, but there was a few decisions that the board had to make, and I'm just delighted that they've put their faith in me.
You've had a couple of months at it.
Yep.
So you enjoyed that spell, but will it be a different challenge now that you've got the job permanently?
It will be, because I'll face different challenges. So the recruitment process, I'm trusted to go and build my own team. Myself and Grant have already spoke about possible targets today. Straight to work. We've got almost a whole team to build, and we've got a challenge ahead of us to win League One, which is going to be a strong league. So yep, no downtime at all. Just crack on and build the best possible squad we can.
That's what you wanted, wasn't it? The opportunity to build your own squad.
Yeah, well, we knew coming in it was going to be an uphill task to keep us in the division, and I didn't want it to fall on our heads with it not being our own team. I think you can only be judged on your own team, and we've been given that opportunity now, so there's no hiding from it. Full responsibilities to me and Grant now to make sure that we come out of League One next year and go back in the Championship.
It is going to be tough, League One. We kind of talked about it briefly on Friday, about the teams that are in there, Falkirk and probably Queen's Park or Dunfermline, whichever teams are in there. It's going to be a tough league.
It is. It's not going to be the same league as what Queen's faced the last time when they got relegated, that's for sure. There's going to be some good teams that will have budgets, and I see that McGlynn's maybe going into Falkirk, which will be a boost to Falkirk. But we can't worry about other teams. We've got to go about our business, and I believe that me and Grant, with the right support from the board, we've been assured of that today. So we've got to go and just quietly go behind the scenes and get our team together, and we'll give it absolutely everything.
Your love and commitment to this club
Yep.
goes without saying. So does that add a bit of extra pressure to you?
I wouldn't say so. I think in terms of the way I am, I want to be successful. That's enough pressure. I think the love that I've got for the club and that it can only go so far. And that with the fans sits well when you're doing all right. But in terms of it being a ruthless business, you've got to be successful on the park as well. I'm trying to build bridges off the park, but you've got to put a successful team on the pitch, and that will go a long way of seeing where we are in the future as well.
It's just been a wee while a couple of hours since you were confirmed
Yep.
in the position, but as you say, the work's already started.
It has. We met the board at a different location, and then we came here and sat in the office for a good couple of hours, and we went over names, and we've went about our business in the last couple of weeks as if we were going to be here, because we were hoping to be here, and we had started talks with certain players that were already at this football club that we're keen to keep a hold of. And now we've got the message out, and I spoke to a few of them today, but there's only so long we can wait for an answer. We've put a good offer to the boys, and there'll become a date where you've got to move on and look at other people, because at the end of the day, it's a football club, and you want players that want to be here as well and be successful, and players will move on. That's the hard part of football, but our task, like I said, is to build a successful team, and that will be new players coming in again, which we've targeted, and I've spoke to a few already. But over the next couple of weeks I don't expect too much business. The playoffs are still happening, but as soon as things come a bit clearer, we'll update you.
You've obviously been talking to players that are already here. There's some that signed up already.
Yeah.
How important is to try and keep that core squad? Last couple of seasons, Queens have kind of been a production line, if you like. So
yeah, I think we're probably paying the price for that now. There's been far too much change, and I spoke with the board, and I think they can see what I'm trying to do, and they can see my vision. And you need a core, and you need experienced players as well, which straight away I've identified and went and spoke to the players that I want to bring to the club that will have a huge impact. But again, along with that, we need to keep a hold of a few of the younger players that have done really well despite the negative season that we've had. But again, going forward, there'll be massive changes at the club, on and off the park, and hopefully we're all striving together for the same thing.
You have been reserve team coach,
Yep.
so will you be looking to bring some of those boys through and use that as
Yeah,
well?
I've already identified today at the board that I want to take 3 of the younger lads up the road. For 1 or 2 years, it's important that they get that platform. It brings them on quicker. It gives them the hunger to see a pathway for them, because there's not been too much of that recently. And again, the boys that will be in the reserves will then see the younger boys getting the opportunity, and hopefully they'll want the same thing, because as a young player, that's all I wanted. And again, we spoke to the board again today how we improve the reserves. We've got the nod that there's going to be a league next year, which is massive, because the last 2 years has been hampered with COVID, but with everything getting a little bit more back to normality, we can push on with that as well.
The club are going to stay full time, so how important was that as well?
Huge. It was one of the first questions I asked the board. Deep down I knew the answer, because I'd already spoke to the chairman 6 months ago, even 3 months ago, and he was telling us we're going to stay full time. And you know, it gives the club something. You know, you want to stay full time, you want to have the best opportunity of getting out of the division, and the club have done that. We sat down, we spoke about a few other things. I touch on the massive changes. You know, our physios took an opportunity to go to New Zealand with his family, and he'll be a big loss, and that's big boots to fill as well. So like I said, it's not just the playing staff, it's other staff as well. We've targeted again a goalkeeping coach that can be a wee bit more hands-on, because Davy Matheson came in and helped me out a lot, but he's got a full-time job. And then we're looking for a sports scientist as well, which we think is really beneficial to the players, to have their individual programmes and stuff to make sure we're getting the best out of them and they're getting everything that they need.
Big changes and but exciting times.
Exciting times, yeah. Like I said, you know, I've wanted this opportunity. I've been given it today, and you know, my phone's now stopped with people wishing me well and success in the job. But again, taking everything into account, it's what you do on the pitch, and my job now is to build a team to be successful out there.